Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I decided to make a video about living expenses and cost of living in Portugal. Now by Portugal I mean Lisbon because I promised you guys that I will never tell you about something I have not experienced. So I've only lived in Lisbon and Metropolitan Lisbon. So that is why I always stick to what I know. So today, I have a list of things for you, things I want to talk about because I remember that when I was moving to Portugal, I really wanted to know about these things and I didn't really have like up to date information or most of the informations were very general. So I hope somebody finds this very useful. So today we are looking at living expenses based on my time here since 2023 to 2024. So I will tell you some things that were like 2023, 2024, and 2020, let's say 2025, where we're currently at. And the reason why we're making this video is because the video on cost of living, many people have watched that video and it's already in the thousands views. So I was like, okay, so please, if you have not watched it, click on this side of the stuff and watch that one. So today, I want to show you the living expenses. Now, everybody's situation is different, right? But if you live in Lisbon, so there is Lisbon province and there is Stuba. There is also Santarem. They're all like within the area. You can take a train, you can take a tram, you can take buses out of those areas. So out of main Lisbon so that you can live in those areas. For example, if you're attending the Universidade Nova de Lisboa, if your campus is the School of Technology, Science and Technology, you're not in main Lisbon, you are on the other side of the river. So Lisbon Metropolitan or something like that. That's what it is called based on the bus card when you want to buy the bus card. So let's start from like week one, right? So let's talk about rent. So when I just came, the first place that I stayed, I rented it on Uni Places, and the lady charged me 450 per room. It was in the center of Lisbon, like it's very close to the Caixa de Sodre. So that area is really busy. It's really like Lisbon Central, if I may say that. I'm sorry if you're from Lisbon and you're watching this and you're thinking that maybe I don't know what I'm saying, but it's close to that central commercial place. It's not very far from that place, but it's around that area, like Travessa de Calderia. That's the area. And I was paying 450, including bills, for one room. There were so many, like, there were other four people in that room, and we shared a kitchen and water bill was included. We did laundry, but for me it wasn't comfortable because I feel like that place had a lot of hills and it was not close to my school. I had to walk to the boat, the ferry station, and take a ferry to the other side of the river, then take a tram to my school. So that was not very comfortable for me. So that's why I moved closer to school. And the only accommodation I could get at that time was 700 per month. And they made me pay 3 months plus deposit. So it means that I paid 700 times five. That's what I paid. And that was because I was desperate and mistakenly I had moved most of my things from China. So I had a lot of things and it will not fit into one room. And I took the fastest house I could get. It was a T1. So it was a one bedroom apartment and my landlord was Chinese. So it was perfect. They trusted me because I had lived in China before. He's one of the nicest guys I have met. The payment was really easy. I transferred to his Bank of China account in Portugal and that's it. That's how I paid my bills. But I had to pay what? I had to pay the electricity bill and the water bill myself. I will talk about that soon. Then the next accommodation that I moved to, I decided to share a room in an apartment. By that time, I already reduced some of my stuff, so I moved to share a room. The room was a little bit bigger, but it was around 450 per month. And it got to a time during summer when it was very hot. The landlord told me that I needed to pay extra because she said I was I had three computers and I had the air fryer. And the reason why I have three computers is because I have my own personal computer and I have two from work. So she said I was using more electricity. So I had to pay like 20 euros more for just 1 month. I didn't pay any other month. So it was just for 1 month. So you guys should expect that. And usually sometimes when you are two, you pay more. So if the rent was like 450, they could tell you that because you're a couple, you have to pay 550. And if you use more water and the water bill is higher, or the electricity bill is higher, you have to pay the increase, because there is a set amount. So if it's 50 euros and you guys use more than 50 euros, especially during what? Especially during winter and summer, when you need AC, or when you need fan, or when you need the heater. So your bill will increase more. And currently I have an apartment, it's a T1+1 that I got by God's grace. I don't know how it happened, but it costs about 580, and that is lower than, it's a bit higher than what I had, but I have more space and I don't have to pay for water, and the electricity bill is, I don't have to sign a contract to get the electricity bill, because that is something. So let's talk about electricity. So electricity, in the first house that I stayed, I had to go to the electricity company to sign the contract by myself. I can't remember if it was 1 year or 2 years contract. I think it was 1 year contract that was renewable, and they kept it as a fixed balance, fixed payment for me. So no matter what I use, I was paying 40 euros. And they said that when I come at the end of the contract, if I want to move, then I will have to pay the balance. Guys, you need to see the balance. When I moved from that place, the balance was around 380. So the fixed money thing was not really profitable for me. So I was like, no, I'm not signing contract anywhere I go. So I made sure that anytime I see I check out an apartment, I always ask if they need to I need to go sign a contract myself, because I don't want to do that anymore. Then the second apartment, it was bills were included, but this current apartment, I used a lot of heater to test how much it could be. It was around 80 euros, which is a lot for 1 month. So since December, I've not been using heater in this house. I've been using like manual heating, a lot of blankets. You can see that I have a lot of blankets here. So I want to see what that bill would be like. So let's say you have your rent around between 5.8 or 450 to like 600, and the electricity bill usually around 40, 50, 60, 80 euros. Then let's talk about water. In the previous house, the first house that I lived, I was paying the water bill. I was only paying 20 euros. Sometimes it's 14, sometimes it's 12. So it was very low compared to electricity. In this current apartment, I don't pay for water, luckily, so it's not a problem. But water is around, sometimes some people even say 5 euros or 6 euros, depending on the town. So water is a bit okay. And also there is phone contract. Guys, this was one of my first mistakes. Number one, I didn't want to use the tourist SIM, because I know that I had a lot of things to do. So I didn't want to use a tourist SIM that would expire in a few months. So after getting my TRC, I had to sign a contract. I think it was before my TRC or after my TRC. I had to sign a contract, 2 years Vodafone contract. Hey, contracts are not the easy thing. You can't break Portuguese phone contract, though. Don't think that you can break it. They will follow you. So if you cancel the contract before 2 years, you will pay the rest of the 2 years. You now pay contract payment, like contract breaking payment. So don't you dare. If you don't have the power, don't do it. But luckily, this Vodafone contract, when I started, I think it was around uh 30 something euros. I can't remember. But no, I think it was 29 euros. I can't remember. But I know that it's been 2 years. When I went to renew the contract, they told me that it is now lower. So now I pay 25 euros per month. And it's unlimited internet. You can share with hotspots. I share with my computer in places where I don't have to, use especially in school. My school network does not connect to my iPad or my computer, so I have to use my hotspot. So I like my contract. I really like my contract, and the network is okay. I mean, it's not the best, but it's fine. So let's talk about internet. And the reason why I'm talking about internet is because I work from home, and they gave me the old monitors that need the Ethernet cable, and I can't use a hotspot for that. So I had to get a fiber network where they bring the small device into your house and you connect it to the Ethernet. So the first time I did that, I did it with Nosh and I regretted it. I'm sorry to say, Nosh, you guys, you didn't do me well. And I had to break that contract because you can't break it in 2 years. So I had to break it before 2 years and they made me pay the rest of the money. So that was a hellish thing for me. So when I moved to another apartment, I always ask them if they have internet. Because if they have internet, it means that I'm just paying the normal bill. I don't have to sign a contract in my name. Because those contracts, the only way you can escape them is if your next house does not have that network, then they will collect it back from you. Or if you are leaving Portugal, and you need to be leaving Portugal, you need to show evidence that you're leaving, that you're not staying here anymore. So those are one of the things. Then this current house, I was able to find a new network that only allowed me to sign 3 months. The network is called Amigo. Amigo, if you're seeing this, I love you guys. You need to sponsor me. So Amigo, the network is called Amigo. It's not everywhere. So I was just lucky that it was in my area and I have to pay just 15 euros per month and use a fiber. It's not the satellite, it's a fiber. So it was really nice. And I've been using it for the past 1 month and I'm really enjoying it. So if after 3 months I don't want to use it anymore, I can go there and pay and cancel the contract. It's not like 2 years contract. But if I still want to continue, I will just continue after the 3 months. Then there is another company called Digi or Digi. Digi. It's not everywhere yet too, but they also have the 3 months contract. So they're getting there. Kudos to them. And let's talk about transport. So I use buses a lot. I use trains a lot. Please, you guys should do that too. Follow my advice. So when I just came, I would use taxis because I didn't know places. But don't try those taxis with the taxi on their head, okay? Be careful. When you come in, download Uber at the airport. Download Uber on your phone, download Bolt on your phone, register and start using that. It's sometimes Bolt will give like discounts, sometimes you get 40% discount, and that is a lot of decrease. So a place that usually go for like 15 euros could be like 5 euros at the end of the day. So it's still really okay compared to some other countries, compared to the UK. I could not use Uber in the UK or Bolt in the UK. I don't know if they have the two, but I could not even try it because a short distance like 25 pounds. So that is a bit different. Now the buses. I live outside Lisbon, so there are two type of tickets. There is Lisbon and there is Lisbon Metropolitan, something like that. So if you live outskirts of the Lisbon province or something like that, you pay more. So since I came, I've been paying 40 euros every month, and it's really okay because usually go to work every day. So I just swipe. But if I was paying like the €1 something or the €2 something, that's just about how many days? 20 days max. And that for that 40 euros, right? So the ticket is really worth it. And I heard something like they're going to reduce it to like they're going to halve the price, but I don't know when that will be effective. Well, public transport, it's okay. So if you live in the Lisbon area, it's just 30 euros. And maybe if you live in Porto, I don't know. If you live in Porto, please put the bus ticket price. In some other cities, I've been to Braga, I didn't have to take a bus. But if you want to take a bus, you can pay on the bus. You can pay a few euros on the bus. Also, if you want to go intercity, it's not a lot. You can download the Flixbus app or you can book online through Red Express. It doesn't cost much. I think I can't remember how much I paid when I went to Spain on a bus. It wasn't a lot at all. I can't remember. It wasn't a lot, but it was so affordable. Way better. I like traveling by bus. I don't really like going on short distances by plane. So there are inter-country buses. You can go to France, and from France, you can take that train, Eurostar, enter UK. If you have the visa, don't say I didn't tell you that one. Okay, then transport, I've talked about Uber. So there are different types of Uber. There's Uber XL, which has more seats. There's also Uber for pets. So if you have a pet, please make sure to book the right Uber. And also there's Uber for child car seats. So if you have children, please don't book the regular Uber, Obeo, because if they catch you, book the Uber that has the car seats. And please know that if your child is not 12 years old, they cannot sit in the front though. So they have to be older than 12 years old to sit in the front. So you need car seats at the back to fit their height. Also, let's talk about groceries. I think last year I made a video that I usually just do 20 euro groceries or less than 20 euros because I don't eat a lot. I hardly, maybe maximum 2 meals per day, and I hardly eat Nigerian food. Nigerian food that you find me eating is eba and maybe draw soup. And that would be ogbono, and that because I have the dried ogbono that I bought from somewhere else. And sometimes I crave. I mean, if you want to cook jollof, there is tin tomato in the bottle in the normal normal supermarket, so you can always buy that and cook your jollof with that. Then the rice, the very good rice is called vaporizido. It's like Nigerian rice, vaporizido. Yes, and it's also basmati rice, and it don't cost a lot at all. I think about €1 you will get a 1 kg of rice, so that is good. So groceries, if I am going way too much, I'm doing too much, I'm buying relevances, I will spend like between 80 to 90 euros. And that is a lot. I bought a lot of nonsense, things that were not part of grocery, things that I should not buy. It means that I bought those. So that's when it will reach 80 euros. So I don't really, I don't like storing food. I'm not one of those people that like to buy a lot of groceries and now blend it, put it in the freezer. The only thing I buy a lot in bulk is meat. I go to the meat shop in Lisbon. There's a particular meat shop in Lisbon, around Rosio side. If I buy a lot of meat, it's like 24 euros, a lot of meat, and that would last me 1 month. And that means I bought goat meat, I bought shaki. But if I was buying chicken, I don't need more than 15 euros, and it will last more than a month. So that place, there's a lot of, like, the meat is wholesale there. So let's say in a month, I don't spend up to 150 euros on groceries. I don't even spend up to that because I have a meal card. And usually they put 130 something on that meal card, and I don't finish it. So that's your tip. If you're just one person, no, it's not like where you will have family of two and you're thinking like me. Or don't think that. But if you're a family of two, you guys can manage yourself. So just double the price, right? People are family of two here and they never die. There's even family of 4, 5, and they are doing fine. And also, if you like to go to restaurant like me, sometimes I go to restaurant. I treat myself. We go on dates once a month. So restaurants, you can spend like between 13 to 15 or even 7 per plate, depending on the restaurants that you go. Most times I do Chinese, I do Korean restaurants because sometimes, Koreans have good meats, good food, and spicy food. So you see me there. So sometimes I spend like between 14 euros, maybe just once a month treats for myself. Then sometimes I go to the African store to buy some things like Rodo, but Rodo is available in Ochan, so I always buy in Ochan, so it's fine. Ochan is a supermarket chain, just like ShopRite, something like that. And there are African stores in Robolera. There's one in Rosio. There's one in Rosio. There are so many in Amadora. And there is one here in La Regera. It's an Indian African shop. That's where I buy my gari. And gari is between 3.4 €3 40 to about €5 50. That's the highest I've bought gari, and it's about 1 kg. So you learn to manage your gari, or you bring your gari where you are coming. I mean, that will not last forever though. And also, I wanted to talk about, if you like to treat yourself, there is massage. You can go to massage parlors, get a massage done. For 1 hour, you could do like between 40, 30 euros to 50 euros. The maximum I've done is 50 euros. And I don't do it often. I do it maybe once in 3 months or once in 2 months because I sit a lot. And I also have a bad leg. So I usually get a massage for that. So that's it. And also, don't forget to pay your credit card if you have credit card. It's not so difficult. You will learn that later. And also, don't forget to pay your tuition installments. So your tuition installments, if it's like 1,500, they divide into 10. You pay 150 every month, depending on your school. Also, to braid your hair, you can say I'm wearing wig. I don't braid often, but there are braiders. There you can go to a particular place, Amadora, where you can braid your hair. And there are Nigerians that braid hair. And I've had to pay for braiding. I've had to pay between, I think I've paid between 45 to 70 euros. 70 euros is the maximum I've paid, and that hair was well done. I've seen somebody who paid 120 euros, but who get that kind of money? Now, rich people. So even that 70, they said it was expensive, but it was good. I liked it. And also, if you want to fix your hair, please bring your wigs. I don't know about fixing. Bring your wigs like me. Don't be looking for somebody that will fix your hair for you. Learn to wash your hair yourself. Learn to dry your hair yourself. Learn to love your hair before coming. Bring all your cream, everything, your soap. But because Dudu Osun, one Dudu Osun is 4 euros 90 cents. One Dudu Osun like this, because I use Dudu Osun. So €1, 4 euros 90 cents. And also vegetables, right? Green veggies. You can find green veggies. The one I use is called the caldo verde. So it's called green soup. It's basically a ripped cabbage. They call it ripped cabbage. They cut it. There's already sliced. There is one like this that is frozen. I really like that one. It's the frozen spinach. So I use that one to make a 4 euro. Really nice. It's always in the frozen freezers, so you can check that, and it's not expensive. Look, it's not expensive to feed yourself at all. You can basically feed yourself on 7 euros per day. Like, even if you want to eat out, you want to eat nonsense. Bread, I like brioche bread. And that's one of the most expensive ones. It's around almost 5 euros for a particular brand. There are other local brands, brioche, that is really nice. Also, there are other white bread, there is other European bread, all those hard bread, and they are really affordable. There is croissant and some other ones too. So, and they are all really affordable. So that's it. And also pharmacy. I wanted to talk about pharmacy. So you can, when you enter the pharmacy here, it's called pharmacia. When you enter a pharmacia, for some things, maybe you don't need prescription. The only things I bought without prescriptions are probably cream or maybe simple paracetamol. I can't remember if they said paracetamol, but most times I've had to call my insurance. My insurance will give me a prescription on the phone, and that prescription, you take it to the pharmacia. When you get pharmacia, you pick a number, you wait for your number, they'll call your number, you go to the front of the person, and you will show them that prescription. They will scan the code. When they scan the code, it shows on your SNS app. The SNS app is the your health insurance app. It shows that you've gone to buy that prescription. So if the doctor did not say that you can buy it 3 times, you cannot buy it 3 times, my dear, because they already scanned it and it's already gone. So that's pharmacy for you. So I don't know, bring your medicine, bring your paracetamol when you're coming. If it's allowed by immigration, bring your medicine, okay? So that for the first few months before getting your SNS, which is the health insurance, or giving you a particular healthcare center, because everybody has a particular healthcare center to their name. I have not used the public health centers yet, because sometimes I'm scared. I really want someone that can speak English. And yes, they speak English. Yes, I know. Somebody will say they speak English. Yes, but I've not been able to use the public healthcare yet. I've always been using the private healthcare because my insurance covers it. And when I go for like gynecology, obstetrics appointments, or I go for maybe normal general medicine, it costs me about 15 to 20 euros to see the doctor. And that is okay if you have a job and you have an insurance. But without insurance, it's like 100 and something euros. So don't try it. But some other appointment, like there was a time I had some issues with my scalp and I went to see the hair doctor. It cost me a lot. It cost a lot, like maybe 40 something euros. And there was that when I just arrived, anytime I switch country, I will have skin issues for like at least 1 year. That's me. My skin will not cooperate. My hormones will not be balanced. I will have melasma, serious melasma, and maybe I will be very, very dark. Especially when I'm not used to that country, the shower and everything, or their water. Yes, water can cause skin problems. If you don't know, please know that. So I had to see the dermatologist, and that cost me a lot too. I think it cost me about 85. But besides that, all other things, if you want to do blood tests or like exams with your insurance, I've done exams before, MRI for my leg, etc. And they cost me, maximum I've done is like 44 euros with insurance. So insurance are very important because they're very important. So that is all for today about living expenses and how much you should expect. So at least know that 700, 800 per month, including rent. So if you live in a smaller town, all those northern towns, like Braga, maybe like 600, 700 too is fine, you know. So, but at the minimum 500, because that means that maybe you're saying an accommodation that is 250, and you can even do less if you know how to manage your account properly. So that is all for today. Thank you for watching the channel. Please continue to ask questions. Please share my posts, like, and most importantly, ask questions. Some people even go as much as come into my DM on Instagram. Most times I don't see the DMs on time because Instagram like to group the messages, so they don't put it under your primary messages. So maybe I don't see it for days. So but when I see it, I reply. Okay. And also, I'm looking forward to making a group on WhatsApp so that people can throw in their questions in that group. So if you want me to make a group, please say yes, and I will make the group and I'll post it in the shorts. Okay, so no, I will not post it in the shorts. You have to come to my DM on Instagram. My Instagram account is linked in the description. Have a wonderful day. Beijinhos.